I hear a couple of stations back in there, but you're just, you're only about a couple of dB above my noise level, and my QRM is right there in the miscellaneous column. So it makes it tough. But give it a try. Mother Nature will prevail.
89. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your patience there, Jim. Let's see. This is K3NIE, Kilo 3, November, India, Echo. K3NIE here, Jim. Handle is Bob. Bravo, Oscar Bravo. And we are operating remote, transmitting from New York State. And we are in the city of Philadelphia, Central City, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Jim. You're doing great in here. You're S9 Plus. Go ahead, Jim.
Roger, K3NIE. Now, where exactly is the transmitter coming from? I can get my SDR headed in that direction, so I know you're transmitting remote, but where is the actual transmission coming from?
Roger, Jim. It's near Poughkeepsie, New York. It's near Poughkeepsie, New York.
Roger, copy of Poughkeepsie, New York. I'm copying you. You would think I would be able to get a better copy on the Rochester SDR, but no. Milford is coming through as a better choice for SDR receiver. Roger, Roger.
As a better choice for SDR receiver. Roger, Roger.
Okay, well, it's basically the station itself. It's a remote station. Through the organization called Remote Ham Radio, and we had a QSO several months back. Look at the log, Jim, but I was hoping just to get an audio report there from you. When we talked to you last time, we were having some difficulties, and you gave me some very good pointers. We went out and got another microphone. We think it's the sound card in our computer, so we got a USB mic here, Jim. I'll keep it short and turn it back to you, Jim.
Well, Roger, I'm copying you much better now. Mother Nature is working. You need a little more top end. Your intelligibility level needs to be emphasized through articulation, which is top end EQ. I'm not sure what radio you're running for transmit, but if you could come up about at your next available chance to get to your base station, come up about 3 clicks on the top end. That would help your articulation a great deal, Roger.
Okay, very good. Yes, well, the base station, it's owned and operated by the organization called RemoteHamRadio.com. It very well could be my microphone. It could be just my laptop that I'm running through here. Just going back and forth and trying the best combination to work. But what got me going was the report there several months ago. So I'll take a listen to it there. I guess there's that YouTube identifier you have, and I certainly do appreciate your comments here, Jim. Over to you.
Roger, what's the name there, please?
Oh, Roger. Okay, Bob. B-O-B, Bravo, Oscar, Bravo.
Roger, Bob. Well, the thing is that the further you get from the transmitter, the more stuff you have to pass through, the more inclined things are to get leveled off, in the upper registers anyway. So there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. If you have a dedicated place that you're operating from, you could always go to a preamp you get away from the normal mics for the computer. Get yourself a nice condenser mic and use a little preamp there to give you a little voltage for that condenser mic. And then after you get your audio level up to high level, then you could use a 10-band EQ before you get to the computer to tailor that audio to exactly what you need to happen, and then go, line in to your computer. Roger?
Okay, Roger. Jim, what was that last piece of equipment you referenced? Was that a 10 VQ? Go ahead.
Oh, 10-band EQ, a third octave equalizer. 10-band EQ, and that way you can tailor your audio response exactly to what you need to, and not rely on the computer to do anything but just the bare minimum that it has to do. And you can shape your audio curve exactly the way you want it going into your computer.
All right, Roger, thank you. I'm going to do a little bit of research on that, and certainly give us control. We have obviously zero control now. It's different from the microphone. Well, thank you very much, Jim.
Roger, Bob. I wish I had a little bit better copy on you in general, but the more articulated that we can make our audio, the better we're going to be in adverse situations. If everything were perfect, then we wouldn't have to be so concerned about the articulation of our audio. But unfortunately, in ham radio, how quickly things can get nasty, not nasty, but I mean dirty or involved as far as noise usually. And when you're on the bottom side of the noise equation, the more articulated your audio, the easier folks are going to be able to understand what you're saying. Now, they might be able to hear you if when you're at the equal level with the noise level. They might be able to hear you, but it would be very difficult to understand the words that you're saying unless you're running a very articulated EQ. Roger?
Roger, welcome. Thank you very much again. Let's go up and do some research. Yeah, we know we sacrificed the internet, but we're constrained here in Philadelphia. In a high-rise building, and we frown upon outdoor antennas, of course. Thank you, Jim. Say 73. You have a YouTube transmission.
Roger, Bob. And I'll just mention one name, one item that you might, if you do decide to use a condenser microphone, ART preamp, ART preamp makes some really nice little small preamps that furnish you the phantom voltage for your condenser microphone. They also furnish you some limiting to fatten your signal, which would be very beneficial going into your computer, in front of your computer audio, because you may not have a lot of headroom in that computer. So if you do some compression limiting ahead of going into your computer, it will help you a great deal as far as not stressing the audio circuitry of the computer as such, and doing some compression limiting outboard going into there. And that is ART preamp. They're like about $50, $60, very, very reasonable. Do just a great job. Have XLR inputs, so they'll take most any microphone input and furnish the the phantom volts for the condenser mic, and like I say, do some limiting compression, or not. You have an in-out switch for that capability, the compression limiting. So 3's to you there, Bob, and thanks for dropping by. I appreciate that, and maybe we can get together next Friday and have better conditions. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Roger, thank you, Jim. KC9VKV.
Alrighty, listening to Milford, PA, SDR. Probably Milford is one of the two greatest SDRs in the country. It just is a very beautiful SDR operation, very sensitive, great antennas. I choose my SDRs fairly simply because I want an SDR that is up to snuff and doing its best job as possible. So usually when Skip starts to roll, I'll start going through the SDRs and find the one that's hearing everything, because that's the one that I want to be listening to. And I've done that pretty much with my 4 that I'm running now. They do a great job. As best as possible, in lieu of not, being able to use my own antenna by fact of not having a heavy enough signal. So I just go where the best signals are. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Well, I do have a sad sack QRMer in there, I swear. That guy is, he's giving me about 2 clicks, about 2 dB above my noise level, but, that unfortunately, that's, most folks are coming in at about that level. I think we've probably set up, well, we're right now at the 1150 recorded Qso-Vlogs, 1150 recorded Qso-Vlog. So in that regards, we probably set up 200 7300s, 250 7300s, somewhere in there, and maybe 75 or 80 7610s. And folks, we're glad to help, but they don't come back. I mean, once it's like a little birdie in the hand. Once you fix their wings, they fly off and have a happy life, which is what they should. But every once in a while you can come back and say hello, and let me know where my EQs have gone and been, and who's been talking to you. I always enjoy hearing folks' tales of woe and tales of how well things are going too, because they're all one picture in ham radio. You have the downer side sometimes, and then you have the upper side, and that's what the hobby's all about, is the experience of the hobby. This is KC9VKV. And I hear nothing, so there's nobody out there, so there's nothing I can do. So I think I'm going to say 3s and cut off early today. There's no sense in, if there's nobody that needs any help today, I have things to do. So I'll say 3 Saul, and catch you later. It's KC9VKV. Be clear.